Hi, hello, afternoon, Saturday afternoon. So, good afternoon. I hope we're all doing well. My name is Kenny. For those that are new on my channel, welcome to my YouTube channel. For those that are not new, if you're coming to my channel for the second, third, fourth, multiple times, I want to say welcome again. I appreciate everyone for taking out their time to watch my videos. Today, I want to talk about business ideas and how to go about having a successful business in America. Oh, yeah, sometimes people may say marriage counselors, they don't have husbands. But you don't necessarily have to have a husband to be a marriage counselor for real because experience, a lot of things comes with experience. So, do I have a successful business? I would say yes. I would say yes. But do I still have my shop? It's a no. So that came with an experience, which I'm going to mention in this video. So first of all, I'm doing this video because of people that are asking me what can they do. Some people already know what they are doing, what they want to do. They're already doing it, but they are stuck with this thought of, should I take the next step and rent a space and expand my business? So this video is for people that are in the US or diaspora and they are tired of their 9 to 5 and they just want something different. So yes, 9 to 5 is not for everybody. It's not for everybody. Some people are just going to feel like, I want something different from this. I want something that keeps me busy and not just keep me in one place. So I'm that kind of person. I'm not a 9 to 5 person. I don't like answering to any boss. I don't like my time being controlled. I don't like people telling me what to do. I don't like people telling me what not to do and stuff like that. I just want to explore and enjoy life and have fun while I work. So some people are in that category and they believe, I want to be my own boss. I want to have my own business. What else can I do even though I had my job or even though I have my own job? So this video is for you. First of all, the best type of business you can do in America that will less like you put you in trouble is services. What can you do with your hands? What can you do with your brain? What have you learned? What skill have you acquired? Those are the kind of business that will put you in less trouble. And I will tell you what I mean by less trouble. First of all, you are your own boss. You determine when you want to work, you determine where you want to work, and you determine how you want to work. So if you have a skill, take for instance, you're a plumber or you're an electrician and you are very good at what you do. Once people call you, I want so thing done, whether it's an emergency or not, if you're very good at what you do, you can tell them, I'll be there tomorrow evening, I'll be there tomorrow morning, or I can be there right away if you feel like it. So you determine your own time and you decide where to work. There are some places you can choose, this is out of my service area, I don't want to service in these areas. So services, to cut the long story short, services is the sweetest business you can do. And it involves less capital. You are not tying any money down apart from the money you spent buying your tools. You're not tying any money down. You are not going crazy. You're not incurring debt just to put your business in place. All you need to do is renew your license every year, which is around $100 and something, depending on how much you declare you're going to make. And these are types of businesses also whereby you have the power to declare what you want to declare in terms of taxes. So it's a lot of benefits to sticking to services only. So that brings us to sales, buying and selling. That could be a blessing and it could be a curse. That was the type of business I had. Okay, I have services too. I do services. Doing hair is services. So the reason I closed my business and focused on services only is because it is very capital intensive, in the sense that you can be rich in your store, like you are tying money down, sitting money somewhere, but then physical cash you might not have it, especially if you're doing the type of sales that involves variants. If you're doing multiple products, that is, it's going to drive you crazy. If you're doing multiple products, let's say, take for instance a beauty supply. That was what I had, a beauty supply. If you ever wonder why beauty supplies are always changing owners, every time they sell it to a different owner, they go through a lot. I'm speaking from experience now. They go through a lot. You see, beauty supply is very full, but trust me, the owner might not have $5,000 sitting in their account. The reason is because, apart from the fact that they have business overhead, paying for space, paying for electricity, paying for this and that, they have to pay their employees. They have to, whether the business booms or not, they have to keep the place open. And the fact that there is 1,000 products on their shelves is a lot. The places they buy their stuff from, there's minimum order quantity for each item. Now imagine you have 2,000 items on your shelf, and you have minimum order quantity for each of these items, and you have variants for each of these items. Let's say, for instance, you're selling let's say you have a fancy art for sale. That's that one sign, one style, one design. You can have it in gold, pink, brown, blue, green. One design, and you cannot keep your shop open with just one design. You need to have at least 5 options. Out of that 5 options, you need to have at least 7 colors for each. Now there is an order quantity that you have to go by. So I'm just saying that if you see a store that has variations, that have a lot of stuff, that is a very big business that can get you in trouble. So that's why I'm focusing on businesses that will get you into less trouble. In case you see all this beauty supply, be like, oh, if you see how full that shop is, the fullness of that shop is the fullness of the trouble of the owner. That's just the truth. As big as the shop is as big as the owner's trouble. That is what business owners face. So another type of business that would less likely get you in trouble is, okay, I've divided it into services and products. So if you are a lawyer, a doctor, you're trying to have your own business, because every career can build a business out of them. So whether a lawyer or this or that, you want to have your own business, it's still classified under services. So if you now start selling, that is being classified under products. Maybe you want to start selling medical equipment, you want to start selling this, selling that. Yes, there is money in selling, don't get me wrong. And I'm going to give you an instance. Okay, when I had my shop, I had this very big shop. You can Google Migo Place. You see all kind of products that were sold. So let's say there is a particular item that is your fast selling, and if you want to stock up, you're not just going to be stocking up one product, especially if you're into a business whereby before the last order you made finish, there are already new products from your manufacturers. Let's take for instance human hair. Human hair is always changing. By the time you want to order another one, they've already done another wig that has elastic band. You finish selling that one, there's another wig that comes with invisible lace before you finish selling that one. So you realize that. And one thing about buying and selling is you cannot finish selling all your products all at the same time. It's not possible. There are some that will be sitting on your shelf. And by the time you realize that you want to go stock up a new product, there are other new products in the market. So the ones sitting on your shelf, you'll be forced to start doing sales on them. You'll be forced to start doing sales, whereby you're running at a loss. And this brings me to people that are always quick to say, this person is greedy. You bought a product for $2, you are trying to sell it for $10. I used to be in that school of thought before I started doing business. Yeah, you might see them as greedy, but bro, they are not greedy. This $8 is going to pay for their rent, pay for their own time because they're employee in their business. It's going to pay themselves for being an employee. It's going to pay for the other goods they are not able to sell. So that by the time they are doing all these sales, flash sales, closing sale, they are not outrightly running at a loss because they already made profit on the ones they sold. So the ones they couldn't sell, the ones they sold will pay for those ones. You have to consider furniture, you have to consider all kind of stuff. Even if you declare to the government or whatever that you did not make a profit, the fact that you are renewing business license, I don't care, even if you're at the borderline, they will still charge you. As long as your shop is open, they will still charge you. That business license comes with a cost. So these are business expenses. So now I want to go back to people that have services. Those are the people that their trouble is very less. So now you have services, you are selling, people are calling you left, right, and center. We need your service. And then you feel like, okay, I'm growing. I need a space. You might want to ask me, does it make sense to get a space? And the answer to me is going to be, for a middle class person, I will say no, don't. Because the truth is, in this age and time, people do not really care about your office address. Your office address could be a room in your house. People do not really care about where you're operating from because they're going to be ordering your services from online. So do you want to incur those overhead when you can easily put them in your savings? Because there's no way you have an office and you will not have someone that sits in that office every now and then. At least whenever you go to your to go render service, you're not expected to close your business space. That is if you have a separate space for your business. But if it was in your house, people can be calling, texting, you're answering their text and you're answering their messages while you render your service, and you don't owe anybody whether you need to be there or not. Because once you have a space and Google says open from 9 to something, and you've let them know on Google that you accept working, they expect you to sit in that space so that whenever anybody comes, they meet you there. So you are obligated to sit in there. And that brings us back to people that do retail or people that do services like my type of service. Once you feel like my business is booming, I want to use Airbraid as an example now. Once you feel like your business is booming and I want to step up, I want to open a space, the days you don't have customers and Google says you're open, you have to sit in that space because Google says you're open. You don't want a situation whereby people will come and they don't meet you there, and that will take you back to the same feelings you had with your job where you felt stuck. Now you're going to feel like you are stuck in one space. You are confined and you're going to want to get out. You will be frustrated in that space. No matter how busy you are, no matter how much money you're making, you're still going to feel like you don't have a life outside of this space. The fact that you have a space that is formally controlled by Google time, by your own business time, you're going to feel confined in that space. The only way you can escape that is to have people, employees that cover up for you whenever you're not there. And make sure that your employees are as good as you, so that nobody comes in and be like, I want Kenny, I want Kenny, I want Kenny. That drove me crazy. Don't want Kenny, want another person. So that's that. Then another thing about Yes, your business has grown, because I know people will ask this question that if I'm doing it alone, then how do I become uh more than comfortable? Just, there's so much you can do. You can't be rendering services in 2 3 different places at the same time. You can't be doing 5 people's head at the same time. So if you want more income, you need to have more people that work under you. You need to have, like, now you need to have a company that hires people so that you can make money off these people you're hiring. So when it comes to stuff like this, I would say you need to have money. Before you think of wanting to open a shop, I had this friend that called me and said, Kenny, people have been advising me to go open a shop. What do you think I can do? I'm scared, and I know you have been in this thing for long. And I told her, look, I'm not going to lie to you. Once you open that shop, your life is going to change totally. What I can advise you to do is keep doing it from your house. She already did her backyard because she cooks, yeah, she caters. You already have your customers that you're catering to. If you feel like you want to grow, it's better you have contract staff that comes to your house, people that can help you if that thing is too much for you, because it is not every day you're going to get that kind of catering. It's not every time you get it. One thing about business, even people that have 9 to 5 jobs, people that have that render services, there's slow season for every business. So you can't say because this month is booming, I have made so much money, I want to go all out. What about the months that don't boom? You have to think about that. So you can't say because you are selling now, you want to make a decision based on that moment. So you need to think about it. If it's still a business you can do from home, if you know how to cook, your catering, it's a thing you can have an account with DoorDash, you can have an account with Uber Eats, you can do your products there, you can do to go. You can do to go. The only thing you will not be able to do is dine in. But once you see you are overwhelmed with your DoorDash, you're overwhelmed with your Uber Eats, you're overwhelmed with your to go, the orders are getting crazy, you can't handle it alone anymore, then it might be time to have a shop. But whenever you have your shop or store or space, make sure you have money, because these things don't come easy. It's a shift. Once you have that space, it's going to look like you just opened your business again. Because what if you don't get a space like immediately where you live, where people already know you? What if you have to move a little further? Then you have to start letting yourself known, spending money on adverts, spending money on SEOs and stuff like that. So you need to, whether you are doing services, your catering, you want to start selling, that selling is even crazy. It's just that it's not possible for us not to have retailers. But retailing, I will not lie to you, is one of the businesses that will bring you the most trouble, especially if you deal with multiple products. I have said why earlier, and I won't want to waste time going back to that. But if you need see a need to have your business space separate from your home, then you need a lot of money, a lot of patience, because it's going to take time for people to know you at your new space. You have to spend money on advertisement. You have to make sure there is somebody that is covering for you when you are not there. Because if you are the only person that is always there, you are going to feel stuck and you will close that business out of frustration. That was what happened to me. That was what happened to my neighbor next door. My other neighbor next door, because she didn't have money to keep running it, she had to go get another job so she could raise money to fund her business. She was always closing it daytime because she needed more money. Because of that, people saw the inconsistency. They didn't come anymore. They ended up evicting her. So truth is, if you want a space, you have to have money. Whether you sell or not, you're picking from that money you've saved up to keep running that business until that business is able to take care of itself. And you need a lot of patience, because you cannot say I've been open for 6 months, I've been open for 8 months, nobody is not doing the way I want it, I want to close it. No, you have to give your business time. You have to give it at least 2 years before you decide you want to close it or not. Truth is, any business that stays 2 years and doesn't pick up, the chances of picking up is going to be very slim. Any business that is going to do good, the first 6, 7, 8 months, 1 year, you might struggle, but after the first year with good advertisement, you should pick up. And by 2 years, you should not fund it yourself anymore. If you're still funding your business after 2 years, then there's something you're not doing right. So that patience and that money to fund it for the first 6, 7, 8 months, 2 years, you need it. And once you have done that and your business picks up, you need people. You need people in place whereby you now feel free. You now feel like a true business owner that you are. And then your frustration is going to be less. But for retailers, I don't know if anybody knows more about retail and can tell us a lot of things. I will appreciate if you can drop it in the comment section. But based on my own experience and the people that I have seen that do retailing, because it is too much, the profit is not worth hiring too many people. So there is no time you will not want to be doing it by yourself for the most part, and that is going to frustrate you. And of course, you're going to be growing. You see people's shop getting fuller and fuller and fuller compared to when they started. That is growth. But as a business owner, as the owner of that shop, there's a frustration that comes with saying that you have money sitting in your shop, but you don't have that liquid cash, like you don't have it in your pocket. There's a frustration that comes with that. So another thing I want to say about retailer is try and minimize the number of products you want to focus on. Focus on a very few products that will be easy to manage. And you don't necessarily have to have a shop. If you want to be a retailer, there's Amazon, there's Etsy. You can build your own website with the right sponsor ads. You can put yourself out there. Look at this Love Me Hair. It's not the day they started they became known, but right now, today, millions of people are shopping on Love Me Hair. If you have the patience, just like people that are rendering services and are going to open their shop and have a patience to grow it, that also comes with patience. But the good thing with that is you're online. You have time to do other jobs while you build your store, and your physical presence is not needed. You just need extra time after your job. You need extra time so you just need extra time different from your work time that you're already dedicated to your job. You need that extra time to build your online business, constant funding for adverts, push it out there, tell people about it, always post it on your social media, let people know that you are there. You can also build it on Amazon and put your personal store link, or just find a way to put your store out there. And just like somebody that has a physical store, you are there already, online business, and started growing. And that is way better, because at the end of the day, by the time you've grown, the only thing you might need is an employee that packages the items, the orders. You might not be physically involved. You just need someone that manages it. You can keep your job and keep running it. If you don't want to keep your job and you want to focus on the business 100%, depending on how much the business brings, your life is going to be easy than somebody that has a physical store. So I think I've said a lot. If you have any question, you can put it in the comment section. If you have contribution to what I've said, or you think what I said are some things you don't agree with and you have better knowledge about business, let us know in the comment section, and I'll see you in my next one.